What's up everyone, it's TyranitarTube and welcome to my first top 5 video. I've always had my own opinions on certain things in the game, so what better way to show it than a top 5 video. In today's top 5, I've looked through every Generation 1 Pokemon and I chose the 5 Pokemon that deserve a Mega Evolution. Keep in mind that these are my opinions, so you might not agree with me, which is perfectly fine. Also, this does not include legendary Pokemon or starters because all starters will get a Mega Evolution at one point, and legendaries belong on a different list. Coming in at number 5 is an underestimated physical tank. It was moved down to NU because of its numerous weaknesses, including 2 that are 4 times effective against it. This Pokemon is Golem. Competitively, Golem takes physical hits well, and also packs a punch back, and with Sturdy, he's almost guaranteed to set up Stealth Rocks as a lead. However, with its low speed stat and special defense, it's really difficult to use one and there are way too many counters to it. If Golem were to Mega Evolve, he would be very similar to Aggron. We don't have too many defensive Mega Pokemon, and Golem fits the role to become a defensive Mega Pokemon. Its stat boost upon Mega Evolving would be distributed to both its defense and special defense. Its attack would also increase at the cost of speed. It would be retyped to a pure Rock type, and its ability would become Solid Rock, which reduces super effective damage by 25%. It may seem overpowered, but it will still have a weak spot in its special defense. Next at number 4 is one most Pokemon fans would agree on. Tyranitar and Garchomp, both pseudo-legendaries of their generation, obtained a Mega Evolution. So why shouldn't Dragonite get one? Dragonite on its own is powerful and moderately fast, and with its hidden ability Multiscale, it can almost always take an unboosted attack, which can allow it to set up. Even without Multiscale, it still has good bulk, but it's much easier to OHKO. However, using Dragonite's speed to your advantage, you can break the scale and make it more vulnerable. If Dragonite were to Mega Evolve, it should get a boost for all of its stats, a major boost to its already high attack, and a smaller boost to its defenses, special attack, and speed. This also still allows you to run a mixed Dragonite or even a sneaky special set. It should maintain the hidden ability Multiscale, but become a pure Dragon type. My main inspiration behind this Mega is from this fan-made artwork of Mega Dragonite, where it Mega Evolves back into the serpent form it came from. This would limit its weaknesses down to 3, but its weak spot in its physical defense would make it more vulnerable, especially to fighting, bug, and ground due to it losing its flying attribute. Coming down to the top 3, in the third slot is a legendary that's not a legendary. It's fast and hits you both physically and specially. This Pokemon is Arcanine. Arcanine is an amazing Pokemon known for its high attack and special attack, which makes it hard to predict. It also has a really good move pool with good type coverage that makes it hard to counter. However, with its border defenses, it can't take a hit too well and can be outsped by several Pokemon in its tier. If Arcanine were to Mega Evolve, it would be based around speed. Arcanine was also always specialized in both of its attacks and always will. His attack and special attack should both increase. However, since his stat boosts are distributed to both of its attacks, it's not as high as it could be. Since Mega Gengar focuses on boosting its special attack, it's able to rise it to a base 170, but it's forced to rely on special attacks. But to make up for this, Mega Arcanine should get a new ability, which I will refer to as Flariate. Similar to Pixelate and Refrigerate, which turn a boosted normal attack into a different type, Flariate would turn it into a fire attack. This would add to Arcanine's already good move pool by giving him access to stronger fire attacks, such as a fire type Thrash, which will hit hard and provide extra power. Extreme Speed would be a key move, as it has second priority and turns into a base 156 fire move, and in combination with its speed, it can outspeed and deal with a lot of threats. At number 2 is another Pokemon that has defensive potential but can't use it right. This Pokemon is Kingler. You forgot this crab existed, didn't you? Kingler is a very powerful Pokemon, and with Crabhammer's buff in Generation 6, it can pack a claw. However, being slow and vulnerable to special attacks, it dropped all the way down to NU. As a Mega Pokemon, Kingler would be the Ferrothorn of water Pokemon. Its defense and special defense should rise up at the cost of its speed. Its attack should slightly increase along with being retyped to water and steel. This makes Kingler much more of a threat to teams with only 3 weaknesses. It would also be able to take a special hit well and knock the opponent back. To pair with this, it should also get the ability Tough Claws, which boosts the power of Kingler's contact moves by 30%. It has a pretty good move pool, but would only benefit from its same type attack bonus with water attacks. Pairing up with Tough Claws, moves like Crab Hammer and X Scissor will definitely hit hard. Kingler does, however, have very low HP, so a few attacks to its special defense should be able to defeat it, but Mega Kingler will be able to hit the opponent very hard when it does attack. And finally, coming in at number 1 is Raticate. Now Raticate... And finally, coming in at number 1 is a Pokemon with balanced stats and a decent move pool. It doesn't have too much potential, but with a small twist can become a very feared Pokemon. This Pokemon is Pidgeot. Pidgeot is pretty much never used, which is why it's in NU anyway. Pidgeot has a great move pool of normal and flying attacks to benefit from its stab width, but it's outsped by a lot of its predators and can't really use its speed to its advantage with such low offensive stats. Mega Pidgeot, on the other hand, is what Pidgeot should have been. First of all, Pidgeot doesn't even have a good ability it can benefit from. The best ability it does have is Big Pecs, which stops its defense from being lowered. After Mega Evolving, Pidgeot should completely change. It should get a strong boost to its attack and speed, and a minor boost to its defenses. At base 136 speed, it can outspeed threats like Mega Manectric and Jolteon as well. It should additionally get a retype to become Fairy and Flying, and its ability should become Pixelate. Pixelate gives normal attacks a 30% boost and retypes them into a Fairy attack. With regular Pidgeot using normal attacks to benefit from its stab, Mega Pidgeot should be able to turn them into a boosted Fairy attack to benefit from stab as well. Even with a lacking move pool, it will still make Pidgeot a threat. However, it's still easily walled by steel types, but hey, every Pokemon has a weakness. Anyways, those are the top 5 Pokemon of Generation 1 that deserve a Mega Evolution. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like. I'm interested to know your thoughts on who should get a Mega Evolution in Generation 1, so be sure to let me know in the comments below. A top 5 on potential Johto Megas will be up in a few days, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out.